Guys not replying to their girlfriend's messages are actually watching the Lego simulation challenge. If there is a gap cut out in the middle of the railway track, can the Lego train pass through smoothly? First I build a small Lego train. This train can run at high speed on the track. Then I leave an empty gap in the middle of the track. The 1.6 centimeter gap is very easy. The Lego train rolls across steadily without effort. Then I widen the gap to 3.2 centimeters. The train obviously slows down. It still passes successfully after 2 tries. I stretch the gap to 4.8 centimeters. The Lego train crosses safely with a close call. The rear wheels nearly derail halfway. When the gap reaches 6.4 centimeters, the front wheels crash straight into the sleeper. The whole train falls apart instantly. I lay a layer of low bricks at the takeoff point and slightly raise the slope angle. The Lego train lands and passes smoothly. I widen the gap further to 8 centimeters while adding 2 layers of bricks at the takeoff spot. The train fails the challenge in the end. I decide to fit a more powerful and lighter drive motor. The upgrade brings obvious improvement. It runs both fast and stable. I expand the track gap to 9.6 centimeters. The train still leaps over effortlessly. Next is the 12.8 centimeter gap. The train suffers heavy damage on impact. I add 1 more layer of bricks for adjustment. The change works surprisingly well right away. I extend the gap to 16 centimeters and raise the takeoff point 4 layers higher. The train still cannot clear the gap. Multiple attempts all end in failure. I come up with a brand new optimization plan. Raise the takeoff point 5 layers and lift the landing point 1 layer as well. The improvement shows immediate results. I increase the gap to 19.2 centimeters. Add another layer to the takeoff ramp. The train makes a perfect takeoff this time, but fails to land steadily. I refuse to give up, so I fully modify the train from scratch, install an extra drive motor, and replace the wheels with smaller ones. I start a new round of testing, but it still loses balance and crashes. I raise the takeoff point to 7 layers and the landing point to 3 layers. After tuning, it connects perfectly with the track. I widen the gap to 22.4 centimeters. The rear wheels drag down the whole train. It flips continuously after impact. I judge the problem is insufficient speed, so I switch to larger wheels. Speed always wins in mechanical racing. When the gap reaches 30.4 centimeters, the Lego train shoots out like a cannonball. It leaps and lands precisely on the other track. I extend the gap further to 36 centimeters. The train can't keep its winning streak this time. If I raise the takeoff ramp 10 layers high, the train can land smoothly, but the inertia is too strong. It rushes past the track and goes off course. Then I start reducing the train's overall weight, removing all extra decorative parts. A dark shadow dashes out in an instant. You can barely see its outline without slow motion. The longest safe crossing record finally settles at 36 centimeters. If you could ride this Lego train yourself, would you dare to give it a try?